I'm Gordon Howie, and you know this is Abraham Lincoln.
How do you do, folks?
And we're going to have an unusual discussion, Mr. President, because it's a little unusual to actually talk to someone after they're dead. Now, and you look very much alive, and we're grateful that you are in this studio and we can have a conversation. But I think maybe there's a way we can talk about perhaps your heavenly perspective on events that happened now that we're speaking about you, shall we say, in a post-mortem sense.
Well, I'll tell you, remember what Paul said, now we see as through a glass darkly, but then face to face. There, all wisdom, all truth, all beauty, all glory, all joy is in heaven. So I can remember.
Well, you had not just a premonition, but you had a very vivid vision or dream prior to being shot.
Just a few days before my unusual and sad trip to Ford Theater, I dreamt I was wakened by sobbing, just heartbroken, sobbing all around. And I dreamed that I woke up in my very bed, walked out, and I couldn't see anyone, and the sobbing grew louder as I went down the stairs into the main room, the Oval Office, and there was a bier with a body on it. Now there are people around it and guards sobbing about he was assassinated. The president has been shot, and they were heartbroken. And I woke up. What a dream. And then
Definitely a prophetic dream.
Yeah, and something incredible happened to me though. After that, all shreds of fear was gone. You know, I had attempts on my life many times. There's many people wanting John Wilkes Booth. So many hated me. The whole South hated me.
Would it be fair to say that after this dream, the very peace of God
Absolutely,
descended upon you?
absolutely, and I can just tell you, I prayed for a lot of young men that were mortally wounded, held their hands, and God was there, carrying them to the great beyond. And sometimes He would spare them, but God was there. It's a holy place when a believer comes to die, and by this time I believed. You know what I told Mary just before I got shot? And it's been falsely quoted, but the last thing I said before I got shot on Good Friday, April 14, 1865, was, of all the places on earth I want to go to Jerusalem. I want to see and follow in the footsteps where my Savior walked. Boom.
I'd like to just have you share with our listeners right now the amazing dates.
The Holy Week of 1885. Palm Sunday was the day that Ulysses S. Grant received the surrender from Robert E. Lee at Appomattox. That was Palm Sunday. Remember Christ, his great Palm Sunday of jubilation? Just a few days later, we had Maundy, Thursday, and then Good Friday. Well, Good Friday, after Palm Sunday, Abe Lincoln gets shot in the head, never to wake up. They carry him across the street, and Black Saturday, called the saddest day in the history of mankind, when all of the disciples that had run away, and Peter was heartbroken beyond any because he betrayed Christ 3 times. The saddest day in the history of the universe, which preceded Easter Sunday. Every sermon in America and many places all around the world, wherever they could find out about this, every possible sermon was rewritten. It was the saddest Easter Sunday in American history.
I'd like to have you share with our listeners what you believe your heavenly perspective might be from the time you were shot until the time you were carried to heaven. Was it an instantaneous transformation, or do you believe it was a gradual ebbing away of your life?
At a certain and specific moment, I will regard as the greatest moment of my life, in an explosion of life. I heard a voice. Well done, good and faithful servant. Welcome to your rest.
On that note, we want to thank you for watching.